Greetings and welcome to a Wednesday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is September 18th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I gotta say, I'm a little bummed out. You know, a lot of things got me down.
Okay, what's that?
I mean, one of them is our own Joseph Lamagna taking a run at the pod.
The Shotgun Start is.
You hear that? Audio evidence.
Assume he's talking about LIV. I hope.
I think he was talking about the pod.
That's neither a run nor a compliment. It's just a state of play. I've never. People said much worse things. Sometimes I've taken them as compliments. People call us stupid. It's sometimes a good thing. We have no pretension about what we offer here.
Also, you know, I'm a little sad about the Procore. I'm sad about the Procore numbers.
Are you?
I don't think they marketed the event the right way.
Do you think General Patton takes it personally that no one gave a shit about him winning?
I don't think General Patton even knows about the ratings yet. Can
I give an honest like minute of praise for General Patton Kazire? Like, you know, we kind of popped him a little bit, said, "Oh, I guess this is happening. Congrats!" Like legitimate congrats to Pat Kazire. But like, he wandered in the wilderness, like a pro's pro. He's won whatever a handful of times.
He's been around a long time.
Grumpy, definitely has broken a few clubs and, you know, gotten bad. Seems like he has a new attitude and that whole deal. But congrats, like legitimate win. Or legitimate pro. The win was, you know, the tree falls in the forest. I don't know. Maybe someone watched it. 69,000 people was the rating, according to Josh Carpenter of Sports Business Journal. Sports Business Journal apparently is it's like the main golf outlet these days because no one gives a shit about the actual golf. They care about ratings. They care about talks. They care about, you know, the latest activation, latest network move. Nobody at like that, like literally Sports Business Journal, fine publication, but like that's primarily where golf lives right now, and that's a bad thing. 69,000 people.
Can I just dive into those numbers a little bit?
Yeah.
Let's take away 10,000 of those because those are just golf courses that just have them on.
Have the TV on.
So it's really like, I think like you're down. Like then there's probably like 10 more thousand of people that weren't actually watching because it's just their TV was on and they were in a different room. I think it's sub 50,000 actual viewers.
I mean,
that's alarming.
Can I be like
football or no football? Sub 50,000.
Can I be sensitive to like something like, I don't know, like 15 people in my life that would willingly watch that. Like, let's be honest, that there are 50,000 or out there is kind of a miracle in a way. And I get people are watching like reruns of this, that, like stuff that doesn't appeal to me personally. But there's nothing, there's very little appeal about Pat Kazire runaway win on September 15th in Napa.
I actually really like the Napa tournament in general.
I do too. We praised it quite a bit last week. I just like, it's at that point, it's 9 p.m. Eastern. You've had, you know, Irish Open, Solheim Cup, LIV Bolingbrook, which I think 89,000 people watched per some sort of
dominated
metric.
The Procore.
I mean, but think about that. That's pretty fucking sad. Sorry for the F-bomb. Because you have John Rahm and Brooks Koepka and Sergio, and you have less than 90,000 people.
I think that's more of a real number, though. I will say that's more of a real number than the Golf Channel number.
Why?
There's no passerbys on CW. You think it's just someone that was watching SVU? Just
well, no. I think like that
Hill?
Same thing could be golf courses just putting it on.
You think golf courses are putting on the CW? They're just going to change the channel to CW?
They're finding LIV at 3 p.m. whenever there's the gap, and they put that on. Okay. But yes, I think that's a bad number for John Rahm and Brooks Koepka being in the mix for anything.
It is a bad number. It's just a bad It's just bad numbers for men's pro golf. It should be a reality check for every single person involved with men's pro golf. Honestly, it's utterly embarrassing. It's embarrassing to be even associated with men's professional golf right now.
It's well, I mean, there's the whole argument of like, should this be going on right now anyways? It's mid-September or late September. Like this is why they moved the playoffs to August. I'm
sorry. I think like the Procore replay might outrate the actual. I saw the Procore replay was on last night. I turned it on.
I feel bad for Procore.
The first year of sponsorship, and you just get a 69,000 rate.
You know who's walking in the conference room doing with a big grin and doing the finger guns at corporate? Fortinet PR marketing head. He's prancing in. He's like, look at that escape we just made. 69,000 people after they got Homa and Sahith and all that stuff a few times.
And they had like what 300? Was it 300 last year?
Something, yeah. Solheim was up to 6 something in the 6s, 600,000, pushing 7. Way up from Spain, but down from I want to say up from Inverness, down from like almost 1 million. Couple American hosted Solheim Cups ago, but up big time from last year. So
we need, you know what it is? We just need bigger purses. If we had bigger purses, this would figure out all the ratings would sort themselves out. The fans couldn't get up for Procore because the purse it paled in comparison to the FedEx Cup finals.
I just think we need more stuff. We got to make more stuff. We need a TGL. We need matches. We need more. We need more golf. We need everything.
The TGL PR assault is full force right now.
Well, the season's coming, man. We got like 3 or 4 months till the dome is hopping. The TGL dome is hopping down there, Palm Beach Community College or whatever it is.
Need it. That's what I'm worried about right now.
Do you think this is a real reality check for anybody?
Do I think it should be? And do I think it is?
Do you think it is?
Should it be? Absolutely. Is it? No.
What's worse, the LIV number or the Procore number?
The Procore number.
Obviously.
The Procore number.
In reality, it's 20 less, but
it's not even close. It's not even right. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's pretty embarrassing.
I mean, it's like utterly embarrassing.
It's like, why does this even exist? What was the investment made to hold that event? Who is it for?
You know who it was for?
FedEx Cup points.
It's for General Patton.
It's for
assured him sat on tour for 2 years.
The mule herd just out there grazing in the valley.
There's some good grazing land up there.
That's what I'm saying.
You know where there's not good grazing land?
Where?
Butterfield, Bermuda. Saw the Bryan Bros were out there filming some stuff, getting ready to activate and make that a big smash hit.
Are they both playing again this year?
I'm sure.
Probably.
I'm sure.
One Monday qualified, right, George? Didn't he
I saw that Luke Kwan, the Creator Classic champion, was out there too, so he must be getting an exemption.
Butterfield knows where its bread is buttered. I mean, they know what they're doing now.
They have a better chance at cracking 70,000 viewers with those 3 in it than the
That's true.
The Napa does.
It's bad. I think you know what these events need. They
More
need
creators.
They need the Sunny bump. Sunny Abacoa. He's back. He comes kind of crawling out of the swamp.
Didn't
4 legs.
Go to real estate or something? He was retiring.
Gave it up, came back, just immediately dominates. Body bags. This is my tour. I'm here. I'm back. Minor League Golf Tour just walks out of the swamp, stands up, and wins. Adds to his total. The all-time GOAT, the Minor League Golf Tour. Not actually named Sunny Abacoa. Sunny Kim, renamed for this podcast Sunny Abacoa because of all the damage he did.
I think listeners know this. I played in a couple minor league events in 2009, 2010, and Sonny Kim was like he was an assassin, terrifying. You saw him in the field, Steve LeBron or Jimmy Lytle, and you knew you were playing. You were not playing. You had no chance of winning. If all three were in the field, it was over. Guy is still doing it 15 years later. It's unbelievable.
Why can't they give him a spot in RSM? We talk about it. Not that we're anything important, but we talk about it.
Might be able to send 10,000 viewers over or something.
Be able to give him a little bit of bump on that 69,000 number.
I think like now
people are actually engaged
with these numbers out there. I feel like we're a pretty big influence here.
And I think people are listening. They're not just putting it on, like the passive audience. People are actually engaged on the other end of this podcast.
You know what kills me is when people tell me that they listen to the pod to go to sleep. I'm like, how does that even work?
I do that all the time. I do that for everything. Every single night. Every single night. Rosillo, Bill Simmons, anything.
Yeah, you put the sleep timer on, and then it turns off.
How does it know when you're asleep?
Wake up, there's some AirPod floating around in the bed. I hope I can find it in the morning because it's fallen out and it's kicked all over the place.
You can set a timer. You just like set it to like a half hour, and then
you guys
are turns
crazy.
Off after a half hour.
What do you do?
I just go to sleep. I literally close my eyes and go to sleep.
No, can't do it. Can't do it.
I literally just like close my eyes. You know what's funny? My wife woke me up last night. I didn't feel great. I was going to sleep early. My wife woke me up like with on her Instagram reels,
Oh,
she's
no.
in the bed, just like the sounds on. I'm like, can you turn that off or go somewhere else? And she's like, she goes, what does that matter? It's not going to make a difference. You're going to go back to sleep in 2 seconds. Literally like 3 seconds later, I think I was back to sleep. Yeah.
I can't. So this is my thing. I've been getting up at like 4 and 5. Like I'm just getting old, and then I'm up for the day. And so part of me like getting back to sleep is throwing a podcast on, so my mind will stop racing. And they're talking about the Too Deep on LSU or something, and like I stop thinking about work or my kids or whatever else that keeps you up, and try to get another extra hour or two of sleep. PJ, you're in this boat.
Yeah, I do. I will say that my senior year of college, the Shotgun Start was my go to sleep podcast.
I don't know if I should take that as a compliment.
No, I've been there. I've been there.
Now, would you listen in the morning?
In the morning, what do you do?
So when I get in the car, I go back. Like if I had the timer on for a half hour, then I go back a half hour, and I just pick up where I was last conscious.
You guys are crazy.
Yeah, where I was less conscious. Missing all these great takes as you doze off as a 21-year-old.
Yeah, and then
Syracuse.
Go back in time.
For me in my 20s, it was like I'll never. I've said this on this pod, but the playoff basketball and being in Chicago, the late game, you fall asleep, and then you wake up to Charmed was the greatest memories of my life. Like, and I would cohesively, like, I think I know like some of the Charmed episodes because I wouldn't turn the TV off in the morning.
Yep.
I would just keep it on, and I'd bop in and out of the room and really know what's happening.
Well, this is the descendant of that. Is like now people just throw the AirPod in and go to sleep. Yeah, try to fall asleep. So, or at least I have to do AirPod. My wife would kill me if I'm just like blasting some podcast on the other side of the room.
Hey, can I ask you a question? Are you guys worried about Caleb Williams?
I mean, as a Browns fan who's just like, your talent doesn't matter. You're going to be irrevocably broken by the situation you've walked into. And I'm speaking generally about 20 years of high draft picks. I would be concerned maybe that they've not put him in a place to succeed now and potentially long term if he is scarred by this situation. PJ?
As another team that has failed plenty of high drafted quarterbacks.
What's one? What's like the worst one?
Well, in my opinion, the worst one that they failed was Sam Darnold, because I actually think Sam Darnold's good.
A lot of people do.
They just didn't help him at all.
That was a disaster. Whereas
Zach Wilson, they tried to give him actually good players, and he was just terrible. I think it was kind of the opposite of the situation.
Okay.
I'm concerned about the offensive line, I would say, more than I'm concerned about Caleb.
There's 5 offensive linemen, and they seem they don't seem to be able to block, even put a body on body for a second when the other team rushes 5. It doesn't seem, if you rush 5, one guy is coming free against our offensive line.
Hey, can we do a game within the game while we're on Football Minute here?
Yeah. Yes.
We're talking Pro Core ratings versus LIV ratings. I want to see Friday night ratings for Stanford, Illinois. Syracuse. So PJ's alma mater versus Illinois, Nebraska. Friday night head-to-head.
Illinois, Nebraska's big time game. Huge game.
Stanford, Syracuse. Two
huge
preeminent
playoff.
Educational institutions.
I mean, Stanford Syracuse is a classic ACC matchup.
It literally is. There's a long history here. First conference game for Kyle McCord. I can't wait.
So those are head-to-head
ACC legend Tiger Woods.
Is it at
legend.
Stanford?
No, it's in the Dome, baby.
The Carrier Dome, or whatever they call it now.
Man, if it was at Stanford, I might have driven down to see the classic ACC matchup.
So that's our other ratings battle.
This Illinois-Nebraska game is got major CFP implications.
Shut up. No,
because Nebraska plays nobody.
Nebraska's really good.
And they play nobody. This is I think they avoid Ohio State, Oregon. They don't play. I think they avoid some of the big teams. It's their second toughest game of the year.
They're going to win. They're at home in Illinois.
What are you talking about? No
Illinois'
faith.
bona fides are
suspect. We got Altmaier back there slinging the rock.
All right. They got Raiola.
We might have the best defensive backfield in the country.
People love this right now. Wentworth. We got Sunny Abacoa talk. We've got TV ratings.
We talked about
Caleb, college football.
Do you want to go to
the deal falling apart?
Why don't we talk about the deal? And the idea. Let's talk about the idea of paying back your contract money. And if do we believe this was a real ask? Do you think there was an ask, or do you think it was floated?
No. I think Joel Beall, proper golf reporter, quickly corrected the record on Twitter. Look, I think this is a story with a lot of characters involved. Some of them, M&A attorneys, antitrust attorneys, Wall Street people, private equity people, golfers. And every now and then, a non-golf entity like Bloomberg Business Week might credulously come along and not fully understand maybe some piece of the story. And probably, I'm not suggesting non-golf reporters are the ones to not capture this. It probably could be better than the golf beat, quite honestly. But the full understanding, really based in reality of what might be asked or possible, might not be present. And to suggest that there is some future world where guys are giving back, particularly John Rahm, his $400 million. Is not a realistic one worthy of publication, in my opinion. But it could have come from some attorney or Wall Street person who suggested it was mentioned by someone at some point, maybe in flippant way. But Joel, I wouldn't say quickly, but did correct the record on Twitter, where everyone, does so. He says, LIV players returning money, specifically Rahm, is not what's holding up a potential PGA Tour PIF deal. Again, this Bloomberg Business Week suggested that, they're trying to figure out these massive penalties they need to pay, including just returning their money that they were paid from the Saudi PIF to come back and be a professional golfer on the tour. Beall corrects that. Sources tell me it's how to integrate LIV players back and what LIV's future looks like in a unified game. Current LIV iteration is likely done, but it will be around in some form. Also, this is Joel again, LIV money is not the aversion to a reconciliation for tour players. It's assimilating defectors who sued the PGA Tour, a lawsuit which, according to leadership, put the tour in a vulnerable financial position. Players understandably want consequences for this group. So it's Joel's contribution to the story. Where do you land on this, Andy? Where are you at with this ongoing negotiations?
I'm tired. I think most people want me to probably yell about this. I just think that
do what you want to do.
I think this just isn't a nutshell of what's plagued golf. It's a bunch of selfish, immature assholes sitting around and pointing the finger at each other. Now, like, did the LIV players do irreparable harm? Yes, they did. Were they assholes? Yeah. But like this whole idea, and I think we led the pod with the Procore numbers, the PGA Tour players being completely immature, not being able to move on. And I understand why it's hard to move on. But like not being able to move on, not being able to look at the game and say, what's the best decisions that we can make so that the game can thrive in the next 10 years, the next 20 years, the next 30 years? It's killing the men's professional game. And I'm getting to the point where, you know what? I'm just okay with it because I just genuinely don't care about
get your 70,000 people.
Yeah. Go get your 70,000. Like it should be for everybody in that negotiating room. It should be just a complete embarrassment that some guys can turn on YouTube and have more live viewers than they can. And it should be like, there should be alarms going off at Ponte Vedra all over the place that like, I think like the good guys probably could turn on a live stream on YouTube and have more viewers than the Procore. That's just utterly embarrassing. And everybody associated with men's pro golf should be embarrassed at where they've let the sport get to. And I'm done with everybody involved with the situation.
Okay, but I share that sentiment. Everybody's like pissed, like I'm done with everybody. But like there are degrees of culpability here, right? Which I get. Like you say, you understand the position of someone. Like it's pretty hard to like put yourself in someone's shoes. Like pretty hard to be magnanimous. This guy sued me, took a bunch of money, and now and lit the world on fire. And now he's claiming about how he pushed golf forward. Like
yeah.
Bryson does. Like we have a vision for like all they've done is destroyed golf. They wrecked golf, but they talk about how they've like. We saw a better future for golf. They didn't. They filled their bank account. Like, it is hard if you are in that position. It's easier to say it from the microphone than be like, you just fucking sued me and you tried to bankrupt me and you tried to destroy me and you're not really getting anywhere, but I'm now supposed to help you back for the betterment of all. Like, that's a hard position to be in. And like, yeah, I blame everybody. I'm sick of everybody too. Also, how many of these guys from LIV are like worth assimilating into some higher pro golf?
I mean, there's only a couple that matter. I think it's
Bryson,
just the idea of the two events going on at once. It just like it's become like a politics.
Is Phil worth reassimilating?
No.
What's his value?
No, because we can't have him win another PGA Tour event. It would ruin the value of PJ's new collector's item.
I was going to say, as the Champions Tour representative, I think Phil would do some good things.
Oh, get out of here. You're looking out for your corner. Champions Tour corner here. Try to get Phil back in the fold. I think like
I get that it's hard. I understand the pain, the idea of like them missing out on this big windfall. Let's point out that Scotty Scheffler made $60+ million this year, despite declining ratings. Like, let's point that out, that they
now have like ownership stake, strategic sports group equity. You know, there's a player equity program and this, all that. Yeah.
But to me, I would be looking at, okay, we just had an event that had sub 70,000 people watch on a Sunday. And
I mean, it's bad timing. It's bad timing for that. Yes.
And I would be wondering, like, is there going to be repercussions from our rights partner? Like, are they like, if I'm NBC, I'm freaking livid. I am like, this is unacceptable. This is not what we signed up for. We just had 69. Like, it's an embarrassment.
They would have replayed Tin Cup, saved the money and replayed Tin Cup to get 69,000 people on a Sunday night.
So, like, this is like, I think the greater risk they're running is that they could completely hang themselves out to dry by not getting a deal done, because I can't envision a world where and this is like, I'm going to watch this stuff because this is what I love golf and I watch golf. But like, I cannot imagine that people are excited about the Sanderson coming up. What are those numbers going to look like?
Get the hell out of here with that.
What are the numbers of Butterfield going to look like? It's going to be a bloodbath this fall.
Apparently purses are down slightly. I think Doug Ferguson had a report for the fall events, very slightly.
Well, yeah, because nobody's playing in them.
Nobody, yeah. The point of them are yeah. And the problem is, they're just like, this is expanding beyond to like everything but the majors. And
you know what's going to get crushed next week?
What? The P Cup?
Yeah.
Why?
I can't envision a world where we're going to get a ratings report. And whether or not, like, whatever
It'll
you
be
put
on NBC, you'll get the NBC bump.
Whatever you put in ratings, that thing coming back on Monday, it's just going to be another moment in time where people just all bag on it. And that you have to, like, what's been a positive, like, I guess, like, there needs to be a positive moment for men's professional golf. When was the last positive moment about the future of men's professional golf? Is it the Masters announcing that they're putting 5 hours of coverage behind a paywall?
I mean, no, getting in the streaming game, the Masters. I had that for news. That's an interesting question. Like, not just related to
a win.
A tournament, a tournament Sunday or something like that. Yeah, because I thought
when was the
PGA
last
Tour
time?
Wasn't horrendous there for like 3 or 4 weeks in the middle of summer. It was pretty good.
Like, when has the sport had positive momentum in the last 3 years?
Yeah, I think it's like kind of eating itself alive right now. They weren't ready. Like, granted, these guys threw grenades into their kitchen, but they just weren't fortified and didn't have the right people to respond. And now it's just a circular, everybody factions going for their crumbs and trying to impose their own.
My greater point is with the fighting and why everybody's just got to put their druthers aside and get this back together. If what keeps happening from a rating standpoint, there ain't gonna be no money left.
I think
if nobody's watching, the sport's worth no fucking money. Sorry for the F-bomb.
Let's just keep saying it and saying sorry after we say it. I think, like, the fighting aside, there's clearly, like, there's dysfunction on multiple levels here and multiple organizations. But, like, set all that aside, any fighting or dysfunction, there's remains a Department of Justice issue that everybody's trying to resolve. I think Rory spoke about that at Wentworth, if I'm not mistaken. That's like legitimately the primary thing that's So how do we get by that? Which means LIV probably remains or some competitor remains. So there's just as to keep that, uphold that. But is it a feeder tour? Is it some other tour? Is it a concurrent team game going on? I just don't reassimilating players. I could understand that. Like, what are the fines? What's the cost? Does John Rahm have to go play for a card? Or is it like Rahm, the guys we really want, Brooks, Bryson? Who are they, Andy, from LIV? Rahm, Brooks, Bryson. Phil, maybe not. I think Patrick Reed has fallen off pretty hard.
We don't want Matt Wolf.
I mean, like,
What
Paul
about his dog?
Casey,
Can we
Kevin
get
Na.
Matt Wolf's dog back? That'd be good animal content for the tour.
Those guys need to go to Q school. What's going on?
I think Joaquin Neiman.
It's Neiman, sure.
I don't think he's like a star, but he's like here's the thing.
Cam
is like
Smith.
there's a lot. I think there's a lot of players where it just like the bottom of tour fields get noticeably better. Our in and out alternate game gets less interesting. It's bad for this podcast. Maybe reassimilating's bad for the pod.
Might just be. Might be. All right. You have any other inside info you want to throw out there? I've been getting a lot of text messages related to this story. I just think.
I think this is not inside information. I think the sneaky thing to watch is the rights partner. Like
all of them or one of them?
The primary. I would look at the Golf Channel. They've been cutting costs left and right, like slashing budgets. Our friend Eamon did a Golf Central by himself a couple weeks ago,
which was our friend,
which was insane. He's definitely not my friend. But he did a Golf Central by himself. They're slashing budgets left and right. And if somebody there, I would describe them, they've been pretty ruthless.
NBC?
Yeah.
Okay.
With like their own staffing and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot imagine that there is a lot of happiness with the PGA Tour right now and what's happening to their ratings. Because like they did a deal and I do not think that the tour has held up their end of the bargain of the deal. And I think like that would be something that I would watch and think about. Like that would be my fear if I were the players, is like if NBC and Golf Channel and we'll just throw CBS in there, if they start asking for money back, where does it come from? And what does that mean for like the next couple of years? All of a sudden, like if that locked in rights deal gets smaller, your budget's completely upside down. The purses don't work anymore. And so to me, that is like the thing to watch is the partners. I can't imagine any sponsor is going to look at those numbers and be happy. Like, so this is the problem. The thing is propped up by all these other people. I think that's maybe the main issue with the current existing tour is that everything's propped up by this like seemingly house of cards. And the second that fan interest is gone, which they are doing their best to nuke off the face of the earth, as soon as that's gone, everything else falls apart. Because why are the sponsors doing it? Why, if nobody cares about the sport, then the sponsors aren't going to care about the sport. If nobody cares about the sport, the ratings are going to tank and the broadcast partners aren't going to care. So, you know, like a quick guide, a quick way to lose fan interest and then have the sport just completely blow up is to fight for 3 straight years and make no progress and divide the sport, divide the fans. It's a masterclass in completely blowing something up and eating yourself.
How would you reassimilate players? I think that's a major question. I think coming out of these meetings, according to Bloomberg, and I don't know who's in these meetings. It seems like Tiger might not have been in those New York meetings, despite the ESPN report or whoever saying so. Didn't seem like Yasser was around at all. Getting unconfirmed reports, he's bouncing around somewhere down in the States. But like, if you're in those meetings, how are you realistically? Maybe this is a different podcast for that could be an hour long. How are you reassimilating LIV players? As Joel says, this is kind of the hang up. Is it like the guys we really like who matter, who've, won a major in their career? You're back. Or a guy who's, I don't know. What is it? Is it you go to Q school? I think there's a cool, like not a cool, but an interesting discussion, a rubric on how you do that.
I mean, I think you could honestly use their points list. You have your major winners and then use their points list.
Tough for the Vincent brothers. That's not going to go well for them. They're not going to get that.
But like, back. I mean,
okay.
Players that I'd be genuinely like different degrees of like interested in having back on the tour. When Abe Answer left, he was like a top 20 player. Paul Casey, I could do with or without. You got Bryson, Sergio, Talor, I think you want back. Tyrrell, absolute you want back. DJ, you want back.
Like some of them you want to have to jump through more hoops than others, right? I mean, some of them are like,
at this
Bryson,
point,
I'll
like,
take
why?
Okay.
Like, what are we doing?
Because I think they do. I think they like.
Okay, so you want them to
Jason
jump through
Kokrak
hoops?
Suing me. Like, I'm not just going to take him back. I think they're pissed.
Guess what? Kokrak didn't qualify on points.
All right.
So you got Brooks. You got you got to have Leishman back just so we can make baseball jokes.
Yeah, going the other way with it.
I think Phil, you probably want back. He's a lifetime member, right?
I think some of these guys are just be like, I'm not going back too. Like a Kevin Na, he might be like, I'm done too, but based on the payouts they got.
And then you got Neiman, and that's like, I mean, other than Rahm, I think that's about it. Cam Smith?
Yeah, Cam Smith. Yes.
I mean, there's nobody else that really screams to me that you want back. So there's not that many players. Like, this is not a big deal. You're talking about reassimilating 10 players. Send them a private invite. Be like, we want you back.
Well, there might be, yeah, and then whatever the DOJ to satisfy DOJ as the rest. Like, you just stay, keep playing your tour. I honestly, I'm not saying that's how it's going to go. There's just a lot of moving parts right now, and golf continues to suffer. Pro golf,
men's. I feel like professional golf.
A lot of I read a quote from Bryson as he gets ready for Merido this weekend. I think that we have, personally, in my opinion, changed the vision of the game of golf.
Yeah,
that's not true. That's not true. Pro golf, maybe, but the rest of us are fine.
The one thing I think that Bryson has proved personally is the value of allowing players to have access to rights. And I think like what he's done with the LIV, like the ability to use LIV footage on his YouTube page, is something that the PGA Tour was absolutely wrong about. Because he has like created another extension that promotes what he's doing. And the PGA Tour the stars of the PGA Tour are vastly underutilized because of their archaic rights beliefs.
Yep. There's too many videos to get them kissing babies or flipping a ball to another 5-year-old walking off the 18th green that they shouldn't be allowed to do.
So like the tour stuff. Here's the thing is like that Phil Bryson match from like LIV Greensboro, right? That's a great example. Greenbrier. Not Greensboro. That's a great example of something the tour would not allow, or they'd say, we need to produce it. And guess what? They would do a shitty job producing it. It would suck. And it would, you come out and you'd be like, oh, like this is what they do. They just like, they would say, hey, like, we're going to do this. And guess what? They do like a really shitty job doing it. You know,
I agree. That's something Bryson's really shown and demonstrated. I think you also need the personality and the player and the talent and all that to add interest, and he has been that. PJ, you're messaging us this article. Is there anything you want to add? It's the DOJ thing.
Yeah, literally Bob Herrick just posted it right now, but it's pretty much what you said before, that Rory is saying that the DOJ is involved and slowing it down. That's the reason
Right.
it's slowed down.
So as we aim the take cannon at a lot of people, also understand there's a government inquiry that kind of needs to be finessed and negotiated around as well. One thing I do not need to negotiate around is my morning routine, and that begins with a cup of Shotgun Start Blend. I have it going right now. Got it going right now. Shotgun Start Blend in my Yeti. Round 2. Oh, you got your coffee golf mug for those of you watching on.
I drank it all.
All right.
So you can see the
it's just a
remains of
prop.
it.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I started the pod with it. It's been consumed during the pod.
Okay.
Now I'm feeling a little parched. I should have gotten some water too.
I double barreled the water and the coffee. You go to goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. You get 20% off when you use the code SGS. These are blends that we created in the lab with the Good Walk boys ourselves way back right before Riviera, I think, right? Early February. We created these blends, came together with them. They are experts at importing craft specialty grade coffee. It's fresh roasted. It's presumably something most of us drink every day. This is a way to get that while also supporting the work that we do. Get Meg to Solheim Cup. It helps support this podcast. And you don't have to think about getting out to the store, getting caught on the back foot, not having coffee in the house, not having time to stop at Starbucks for some overpriced, burnt, overcooked beans. Starbucks is like, I don't want to besmirch a multinational corporation here, but it's becoming like McDonald's when we were kids. It's just a bunch of kids eating, like housing 1,200 calorie drinks. Like what started as this little like coffee shop.
Yeah.
You like go in there, it's like all kids just guzzling these drinks that are like like, what is this anymore? Anyways,
I can't believe how many kids drink coffee now.
Yeah.
I mean, like I didn't start drinking coffee till college.
I end at college, really. My senior year, I finally gave in. God,
but think about
if you are
pre-coffee,
coffee consumer,
not a life I want to live.
Goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. Again, this is a way, not begging, but this is something we set up. You can support us and get something good that we help make, and you use every morning. Use the code SGS. Subscribe. You get an extra 10% off. All right.
Hey, can I add some levity? Can I do a little catnip call of the week?
Yeah.
Event of the week's US Mid-Am.
Oh, I'm coming over the top with you on that one. Okay. At Kinloch there, Virginia?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a player in the field with a famous golf name.
Okay.
It is Ben Hogan.
Oh God.
43.
Oh, God.
He's from Wellington, Ohio, and he's a retired police officer.
Oh my God, what a story.
He retired due to medical reasons, and now he works as a volunteer at a local department. And he played professional on the Golden State, Pepsi, and Gateway tours prior to 2006. So he was reinstated in 2015. This is his second consecutive U.S. Mid-Am.
How does it... Man, I've been to Wellington, Ohio. I mean, you talk about the middle of nowhere. That's Wellington, Ohio. You keep going. That is out there.
So Ben Hogan.
Policeman. All right. That's...
Ben Hogan, catnip call of the week.
My event of the week, also an amateur event, the North of Ireland. Ongoing, starting today.
At Portrush.
Royal Portrush. Told to watch, I was skimming around scores this morning. Keith Egan, Paul Coughlin. I'm told it's a very weak field with lots of dropouts it's just fatigue.
I should be playing in it.
You should try to do this.
I think I'm going to start to just play all the Ireland amateur events. I might be back. I might be back in amateur golf.
Paul Cutler is one I'm told to keep an eye on as well. He's just an old soul. He was a legend in the mid 2000s, but now he's Rory's age. Apparently, might have beat up Rory on an amateur event or two. Way
one
back
amateur
in the day.
Amateur event.
Maybe more than one. I'm sending multiple articles that you might have beat up on him occasionally. Paul Cutler back playing the North of Ireland. It doesn't have a chance now, but I think Rory's does have a chance in whatever events he's playing in still. But he's back playing Royal Portrush. That's my event of the week.
You want to know something to watch this fall?
Yeah.
Does the USGA allow me back into amateur golf? The ball's in their court.
Why wouldn't they let you in? What do you mean? Were you a pro?
Bacon and I signed up for a 4-ball qualifier, but we're currently first on the wait list.
For what reason?
The site was full.
Late?
The site was full.
Okay, you're suggesting like the USGA's at fault, like they're just reviewing your credentials of some sort, like you
see
made
if we
too much
get in
money
off the
playing
wait
the
list.
minor league tour or something. Okay,
if we get in off the wait list, then Bacon's going to be saddled with me shooting an 80 in a 4-ball qualifier, making no birdies. We'll get in if Bacon could shoot 65 on his own ball.
If you get off the wait list, then we'll know that the USGA is a credible organization again. Is that what you're saying here? All right. They're under the gun on this one. Hey, let's do a little schedule for the week. We've already announced 2 events that definitely will not be on TV, as far as I know. But
remember when the Mid-Am used to be on TV?
There would be a little taste of it. Yeah. What was it? They did the one at Sand Kitty Head. I want to say it was on for a day or 2. There have been a few.
I gotta pop my the good man Brian DiPasquale, who put together this press release for the Mid-Am.
Oh, don't do that. Brian's the man.
He is the man, but he did like 25 notables.
Notable player. He's amazing at those. Those notables are incredible.
I'm gonna say that he's amazing, but somehow he didn't have the winner of last week's Crump in it. How?
Well, that's just because he's your insurance guy, and you're just mad about that. What's he supposed to say? Notable because he sells insurance to Fried Egg Andy.
He's our insurance guy.
All right, I heard.
Well, he won the Crump Cup. He's played a bunch of Mid-Ams. Like it's not like he's not notable.
Did Andrew Bailey make notables?
No.
You know, he qualified based on his Wagger rating, which
this is
pretty insane.
You know who is a notable? SGS. SGS reinstated. This might be a crooked reinstatement here. Michael Weaver.
Oh, yeah. We love Weaver.
Walker Cupper.
Dream Weaver.
Walker Cupper, runner-up in the USAM. Played a lot of pro golf.
All right, come on. It's not crooked. Guy's done his time. I heard what's Namek? NAUM is back on the amateur ranks, just feasting immediately back in there.
How about this guy? The notables is pretty good.
That's what I'm saying. Did Ben Hogan get in there? Is that where you got your cat? Look, Brian DiPasquale, you're trying to pop and gave you your catnip call of the week on a platter. You got Wellington, Ohio, and retired policeman facts. You're not pulling those out of nowhere.
How about this guy? Chucky Boomer, in quotes, White. 31. Guess where Boomer's from?
I'm going to say Edmond, Oklahoma.
Good guess. He's from Houston, Texas.
All right.
He was selected in the 10th round of the 2016 Major League Baseball draft by the San Diego Padres. He was a first-team All-American infielder and Southeastern Conference Player of the Year at Texas A&M.
Holy, wow.
SEC Player of the Year.
God. That's Leishman could only dream of such an honor on the ball field. That's legit.
White, also known as Boomer, played 2 summers for the Falmouth Commodores in the Cape Cod League.
Yeah.
A commercial real estate broker, White advanced to second U.S. Mid-Am after earning one of the 5 spots in Houston, Texas. Boomer.
Hey, you know how they do the ball count at like a pro events? Like everybody's playing a Titleist, this, that, or the other.
Yeah.
I need the commercial real estate count at the Mid-Am. I need insurance count. I need commercial real estate count. Those 2. That's what I want.
And
mortgage. Mortgage count.
There's also
mortgage
like
business.
Family business would be another good one.
Yeah.
Family business would be a great one.
All right, let's get to events that are on TV. I was going to say, is this just some guy that people in the bar call Boomer? But if you were SEC Player of the Year, you earned your nickname for something else.
There's a Kittleson and Weaver, two runners up in the U.S. Mid-Am or U.S.A.M. Long, the Kittleson's become just an assassin.
He's killing it. He's
the
doing
four
quite well.
ball with fellow podcaster Drew Stoltz. Like, the guys are menaces.
Yeah. All right. On TV this week, the LPGA Tour.
One more. Here's a good one. D. Pasquale just killed it.
He just gave us 10 minutes of content, and you're trying to get after him.
How about this guy?
He didn't put enough.
Mark Gardner. This is a guy to root for. Mark Gardner, 61, Washington, Utah, retired Air Force Chief Master Sergeant.
Okay.
So he's the Air Force guy. Made the Air Force golf team 13 times. How does he have that much eligibility?
Wait, what?
He made the Air Force's golf team 13 times. Competed on the U.S. Armed Forces team. What we need to know a little bit about
What's that tour? What's that team all about?
Competed on the U.S. Armed Forces team 11 occasions, playing in both national and international competitions. I want to know more about this. And is a 4-time winner of the Air Force Golf Championship.
We need Bob Parsons to get in with that tour, whatever they're doing.
Gardner estimates that he's played in a dozen different countries, including a match against Ugandan general, who is the third man in charge of his nation's army. His wife and son both served in the Air Force.
Wow.
He's also this is sick. He's also qualified for a Professional Bowlers Association event.
Oh my God. This is a modern day Michelangelo. He's a Master Chief Sergeant. He's playing golf against Ugandan generals, and he's a bowler. Guy does it all.
There's another guy, Kevin Fott, who's also the mayor of his town.
That guy, there's not a lot of public works getting done. That guy's on the golf course all day. The mayor's just an empty office.
Oh, this is good. This is good.
Thanks to Notables, Brian, for sending those along.
You know what I like too is I was wondering if he listed these and played favorites. He just puts them alphabetical. No favorites played.
Course. Sure.
I think. Which one was your favorite?
Ben Hogan, I think, is a good one. Wellington, Ohio, retired police officer, been injured, former pro. Who's yours? Gardner's pretty good.
God, this guy was Jack Barber, member of Stanford University's second-ranked tennis team.
All right, you have been completely consumed and distracted by this email with the notables for the Mid-Am. That's at Kinloch. That's your event of the week. Mine is the North of Ireland. But events on TV, notables. LPGA Tour's Kroger Queen City Championship at TPC Rivers Bend in Mainville, Ohio. So this is a Cincinnati event. They've moved off of, what was that at? Hyde Park? What was the golf course in Cincinnati they were at last couple of years? Either way, they're now at TPC Rivers Bend, and Arnold Palmer designed.
Do you think they got a good deal from the tour?
They might have. Arnold Palmer designed TPC Rivers Bend. Apparently, they were according to Monday Q, out of yardage books. New venue. They didn't have yardage books for the practice rounds.
Another win for LPGA.
For Molly Marcoe, Salmon. Yeah. Not good scene there. That's 1 to 4, Thursday through Sunday. So 4 p.m. finish each day. Then on the Champions Tour, we have the Pure Insurance Championship at Pebble Beach and Spyglass. This is on from 6 to 9 p.m. prime time golf. Before you get into Sunday Night Football, you watch that Pure Insurance Championship from Pebble Beach. That is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Down? You should drive down. You should drive down and get in the mix with the senior circuit. Do we have notables for that?
Is Jacobson playing?
Stephen Ames, no, he's calling it. He's too valuable in the boot.
He got the exemption into the AT&T a couple years ago at 67 or whatever.
Not long ago. That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is he playing in this? Is he coming down from the booth?
He was playing with I want to say Ben Rector or something. They were strumming chords together. Stephen Ames, Paul Broadhurst, Fred Couples.
I think he played with Mark Baldwin too.
Jerry
It was
Kelly.
A big Monday Q week.
That's right. Bernard Lahner, and Vijay Singh,
God.
who also is in the field. Marco Mira, Swan Song from Marco Mira, who you've tried to besmirch. Yeah, he's a legitimate bona fide Hall of Famer, won multiple major championships, has a great history at Pebble Beach. He's going to walk it off as his last event is, I guess, competitive golf is what you call it, or tour golf. That's 6 to 9, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You have anything you want to add? Should we do one and done picks here?
Well, we should add that you should listen
Tour.
to the Marco Mira spotlight we did.
We'll get that. Let's resurface that. Look for that on our social media channel. Maybe we'll repost it to the feed.
Let us know if you would find us reposting some of those old spotlights to the feed as a nuisance or a enjoyment.
And how would you like them to submit that feedback that you won't look at or listen to? What do you want them to do? Tweet us?
I don't want anybody to tweet anything.
Emails?
Post
we should repost.
We'll repost Threads.
We'll repost. Yeah,
do we even have a Threads account?
I don't know. I think we do because we have an Instagram account, probably.
PJ, when are we going to get a TikTok account?
We can get a TikTok account. Do you want a TikTok account?
Well, I think the people of TikTok are probably looking for Champs Tour one and done picks.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a money-making opportunity.
Just worried about China putting their thumb on the scale. They own that platform. We're getting too spicy with our takes on Champions Tour. Who's our one and done picks for Champions Tour? Who do you got, Andy?
Who do I got for Champs Tour? Oh,
Looks like you're trying to scrounge one up right now.
So I've used Alker. I mean, this is a great venue. I think who's going to really revel in the Central California landscape is the question. I'm going to go with I think Bernie's hot. I'm going to take Bernie Longer.
He is hot.
Guy's come back with a vengeance from the Achilles.
The putter, the oversight of the putter does not seem to be significant. It really looks jammed into his chest there.
I mean, they weren't. This goes back to McCarron days.
They're trying to legislate intent, and I don't think they're doing that on the Champions Tour. Trying to figure that out. All right, you're going Bernie Lauder. I'm going to take a spin on the Dick Green wheel here. It seems like he's just knocking on the door. I haven't said I got deep into Dick Green analysis, but he's been close, and Peter Jacobson says so. PJ supports that last week. I'm going to try to hit the Dick Green wheel.
Do you think we should we reach out to Jacobson and see if he'd be up to submit like a weekly Champs Tour thing for the newsletter that he unsubscribed to?
Yeah, I was going to say we can pass subscriber Peter his picks for the Champions Tour. PJ, do you have one?
I do have one. I went back, did some research again.
Of course you did.
Last year?
Yeah, looked at
you
some
have a little course history?
Past leaderboards. It's no fun just going chalk, but after a rousing Sunday last week to get into the top 5, Steven Alker is 3 for 3 here in the top 5 the last 3 playings of this event.
Oh my God.
Including a runner-up finish in 2022. So we're going Alker. He's
chalky. Out for the hardware.
It's chalky, but course horse. There's history here.
Purse is $2.3 million for the PGA Tour Champions event this week. I have to
find somebody that will let us bet on this in Vegas. Hey, I will walk down the strip to try to find.
You're going to Vegas this weekend.
Somebody that will let us bet on.
You're going
this.
to the Sphere.
Going to the Sphere.
Are you excited?
I am excited. I'm excited to see such a monumental piece of the match history with the win in the background. So
okay,
we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm most excited to find some casino that will let me bet on the Champions Tour.
Hit the parlay. Top 10. Dick Green, Alker, and
I'll
Bernie
Venmo
Lauder.
You some cash.
All right.
We'll put the cash
Expense
to work.
It.
If we
proper expense reports.
I don't know if that's like legal.
All business, Pete.
Yeah. I don't know if that's above board. Is like using company funds to gamble. I'm not sure. I'm sure people will weigh in.
Yeah.
But you know what would be great? We could put the money to work. We could if we win, we can use the cash for something. I don't know what we'd use the cash for, but something. We'll keep it in the shotgun start slush fund.
Okay. All right. So that's our Champions Tour event. Let me find what's next here. DP World Tour, the BMW PGA Championship at Wentworth. This is their flagship, as they say, flagship event of the DP World Tour returns to Wentworth. Billy Boy's over there, as you would imagine. Ben On, Matt Fitzpatrick, Tommy Fleetwood, Billy Horschel, Siwoo Kim, Shane Lowry, Rory McIlroy's playing, Victor Perez, Justin Rose, and the Tank, Sepp Straka. This is Coffee Golf, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Thursday, Friday, with a 12:30 finish on Saturday and Sunday. A big prominent event on the DP World Tour. Bob Herrig with a report in Sports Illustrated this week that LIV tried an end around to do a deal with the DP World Tour to wipe out fines, wipe out, certify, quote unquote, and come together where they could play for world rankings points. Apparently, DP World Tour rejected them. So again, just interesting times for the DP World Tour as their flagship event. Some of these big fall events are ongoing.
The guy wasn't going to be that guy.
Guy, don't call me Guy Kinnings. Didn't have time, I guess, to be, I don't know, the LIV launder machine. Maybe against their own best interests. I don't know. I'm not sure what their best interests are. They're trying to figure it out. I do like Wentworth though. It's a good little event with some history. Obviously, a heftier purse compared to a lot of DP World Tour events. What do we have? 9 million Rolex Series. So, continuing on with our schedule for the week, we have the Corn Ferry Tour. This is the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship at the Scarlet Course at Ohio State. This is 4 to 6 p.m. Thursday through Sunday. You think Ohio State, I think they're hosting Marshall this weekend. You think people are just going to on their way in, I don't want to go to the game. I'm going to go watch Corn Ferry Tour.
I mean, it's probably will be more interesting than that Marshall game.
Fair.
Ohio State's loaded.
They're pretty good.
I think if Illinois could get by Nebraska, we got CFP. I mean, if we get by Nebraska, would you entertain us being in the CFP discussion?
I would not. Oh, discussion? That's such an ambiguous, broad term. I mean, sure, you can be in the discussion.
Our schedule's tough coming up.
Then no. So we
go Nebraska, Penn State, Purdue, who I think stinks. Michigan, Oregon. That's rough. Could be staring 500 back in the face after such a hot start.
Yeah. All right. So that's your event. Those are your 4 events on TV: LPGA Champs, Euro Tour, and then the KFT getting some coverage. I think Bacon's on the call for that. As the KFT playoffs continue. That's your schedule.
Bacon's
for the
and
week.
Nitties, popping.
Yeah.
Nitties was popping us.
Yep.
We got to do more Corn Ferry.
KFT. Yeah.
Sorry, the fans are just more interested in Champs Tour. Oh, one thing, PJ, can we try and find Champs Tour tape delayed ratings? See if it beat out.
I did. I Googled every which way of trying to find ratings yesterday, and I am not. I need to figure out how to do it because just my Google searches have not gotten me anywhere.
We need to give you
far.
a Nielsen account. We need to figure that out. So all these sports business reporters that just regurgitate these ratings, we can get access to that.
Do you think they're holding them back because they beat Procore? Hiding them?
I mean, you had a big name playoff there with Stricker and Dick Green. What do you mean?
Tape delayed coverage. News real quick. We are deep into the hour here. Masters expands the broadcast window. Also, Bank of America is now a champion partner as opposed to tournament partner. Extra 2 hours on Paramount Plus from noon to 2 before then, and then an extra hour on CBS on Saturday and Sunday. Now 2 to 7. I believe that's an extra hour. It might have already been 2 to 7 on Saturday or Sunday. I'm sorry. But yes, little streaming hours. What do we want to call this? Do we know yet? Who's rumbling around in that early window often? Billy Boy, frequent participant in those early weekend hours. Maybe Septic Tank. Feels like could be Tank hours, but the Paramount Plus broadcast is going to get some of that action early on the weekend.
This is, I guess, exciting. I don't know.
More coverage. They're always looking to.
Do you have to pay for Paramount Plus?
Seems like it. The plus would indicate a payment necessity.
That kind of sucks. I wonder I mean, you know how much they had to pay the Masters for this? This is like a subscriber event for Paramount Plus. Is there anything that you watch on Paramount Plus? Is it like,
I think there's the event or the Western in Montana with Kevin Costner was a thing for a minute.
Yellowstone.
I don't think it
Yellowstone
is
was on Paramount Plus. It's big for Champions League Soccer is a CBS property that is on Paramount Plus.
NFL something NFL?
Yeah, they can stream football on there because it's CBS.
Now, I love the Masters. It's incredible. I would watch, paint dry at the Masters. Are people signing up for early 2-hour window coverage? Are they buying a subscription service for that?
I feel like Masters.com's so good you don't need it.
Yeah. I think they're just dabbling. They're dabbling, experimenting.
It's a weird dabble, to be completely honest. I'm surprised that they're letting Paramount get the subs from it. It's very interesting.
Okay. It's interesting. It is interesting. I wonder who'll be on the call. That's news. Other news.
Who do you want to have on the call?
Zaner? I don't know. I'm trying to think. I have to think for a minute on that. The Bryan Bros. I don't know. Some creators. Get them involved. Peyton Manning. There's a big local radio segment this morning. I was dropping my kids off. They were claiming the Manning cast is dying. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if it is.
I know everybody loves the Manning cast. I'd rather watch just the regular broadcast.
Fair. Also in news, this is from Sean Zock reporting from LIV Bolingbrook. The December match is going to be called the Showdown, and they're seeking an $8 to $10 million title sponsorship for this Las Vegas event with no date and no place yet, but it will be called the Showdown between Brooks, Bryce, and Rory and Scotty. The Showdown.
Question: $10 million. Would you rather sponsor the Procore or the
Come
Showdown?
on, the Showdown.
Procore got.
But I don't want to start a 20-minute discussion at our mark. But they're trying to hit like CMOs too, necessarily. They're not trying to get 1 million viewers. They're just like, some of the point of it is just hitting some fancy boys prancing around Napa that could buy some software,
It would be a good hosting event. You could just get them all knocked up on wine
and buying some software as a service, that kind of stuff. Okay.
Surprised we didn't get invited.
That does it for this Wednesday. We're leaving
Bay Area software company.
We're leaving plenty on the table, which we'll get to on Friday. Look out for that O'Meara spotlight. Let's take that back. We did some great spotlights. We're going to get back. Trevino Part 2 is just around the corner.
We talked about Trevino Part 2.
Yeah. I don't think
we could ever do Trevino Part 2, to be completely honest.
I have all the notes. I did hours of notes. It's ready. I did the legwork, for God's sakes. But we did those spotlights, if I have to say, pretty well. I think we should
do a Dick Green spotlight.
We should. The O'Meara one was a fun one. We'll post that. I think people enjoy it.
King of the Bees.
We'll talk to you on Friday.